everyone. So I'm going to be showing you how to zoom in on your work and how to zoom back out on your work. If you're having trouble reading it or being able to see everything on the slides or being able to access all the materials you need to, like in this case, we have the Great Chicago Fire. We want to be able to read this, and I know that even with my glasses, I kind of have to squint. So I'm going to show you how to zoom in and zoom back out. If you go up to your toolbar, it should be right up here. There is an option kind of next to where it says print and right next to the little arrow, little mouse. There is a zoom button. Now, I like to click the little arrow next to the zoom button. It looks like a little magnifying glass with a plus sign in it. I like to click this little arrow here, and then I like to choose the size I want. So for this one, I'm going to see if size 100, if I zoom in 100%, if it's too much or just right. So I'm going to click on 100, and you know what? That's not bad. That allows me to see each paragraph. I'm not stressed out. I'm not looking at everything else on the page. I'm just slowly reading one paragraph at a time. So let's say I have read this whole passage. I've zoomed in. I'm able to see it all. Um, it all makes sense to me. I understand it, but now I need to do the work. But I can't see any of the highlight boxes anymore because I've zoomed in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to where the arrow is again. And instead of clicking 100%, I'm going to click fit. This is going to go back to normal. I'm going to zoom out and be able to see everything I need to. So when I click fit, it goes back to the way the slide was originally. And now I can see all the boxes off to the left-hand side or whatever other objects there are. Now, if I am zoomed in, let's say I zoomed into 50, I can kind of see my boxes here. But in order to see every box, the whole thing, I'm going to have to come down to this scroll bar. This is what we call a scroll bar. And I'm going to have to click it and drag it over to the left so I can see all of the little boxes. And so that way I'm able to move them. But a lot of times it's a lot easier if I can zoom out to fit, so that way I can see everything I need to in order to be able to drag what I need onto my work. Okay, so once again, in order to zoom in to see clearly, you go up to the little magnifying glass, you click the arrow, the down arrow, and then you can zoom in as far as you need to. So maybe you only zoom into 50, and that's good enough for your eyes and you're able to read what you need to. Maybe you zoom into 100. I wouldn't do 200 just because it is very, very close and you can't read much at all. So I would only go up to 100. And that way I can read everything I need to on the page. When I'm all done reading, I'm going to have to go back to that little magnifying glass, click on that down arrow, and then click on fit. So everything goes back to the size it needs to be. So if you're having trouble seeing, which I know a lot of us are, especially on our computer screens, especially with it being so small, make sure you're using that magnifying glass and you're clicking and you're zooming in on your assignment when you need to read it. And then you can always zoom out when you need to work on your assignment and drag and drop things. Make sure that you are using also the scroll bar on the side so that way you can see all of your assignments and all the slides for your assignments. Some people tend to forget about a slide because they didn't scroll all the way down to the bottom to see that there's another slide. So make sure you're using your scroll bars when you're zoomed in or even when you're not zoomed in. So that way you can see everything and see all of the pieces on your slide and make sure that you pull back and unzoom when you need to. If you need any help, let me know.